to the weather report. I'm here today with a special guest, Peter the Byzantine, and he's going to talk a little bit about the differences between the Latin Mass and the Byzantine Divine Liturgy, and he's also going to talk about the perspective of a Byzantine Catholic attending the Latin Mass. So, yes. Peter, what do you have for us today?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being allowed to be on the show. I guess we can talk about Byzantine Divine Liturgy. It's very different from the Latin Mass. If those who have never, those Roman Catholics who have never experienced Divine Liturgy, it's quite an experience. So when you go in to a Byzantine church, an Eastern Catholic church, you do not see statues, you see icons. You know, the icons of Jesus to be baptized that we have in our church, or Our Lady's Dormition, or the Apostles and Saints. You also have icons on these doors that are in front of the altar that we call them the holy doors. You know, and we treat it as the Holy of Holies like it is in the tabernacle. The main door is for only the priest and the deacon, and then the servers are allowed in the little doors that are on the left and then on the right. When we have the Holy Eucharist, when that is being given to the people, we do not kneel and we do not take it from the hand. Instead, we have the golden chalice, and that we take our hands like this, we cross them, take our heads like this, and we stick our tongue out, and then the priest or the deacon takes the golden spoon and puts the Eucharist on our tongues. And what's interesting, as I should mention, is that it's not a wafer, that it is bread with yeast, and that it is mixed with wine, so that you have the wine, the blood, and the bread, the body, together. And that is how we partake in the Holy Eucharist. Now, you could talk about the Divine Liturgy on and on, but I think I want to talk about my experiences. Is that right, John?
Yeah, at the Latin Mass.
At the Latin Mass. For a Byzantine to come to the Latin Mass, it is also an interesting experience. Mostly because you hear Latin, not the English vernacular that we use, or my church uses in Divine Liturgy, but you hear Latin. You must follow. For me, it's a little difficult to follow along because obviously I don't speak Latin. I'm not familiar with it, but the experience is the spiritualness. It's incredible to have a language that you're not really familiar with, to listen and to follow along. It's beautiful. I don't know how else to describe it. But it's interesting. I will say this, and correct me if I'm wrong with this. Pope John Paul II that says that the two churches are like the two lungs.
Yeah, I've heard that. I'm not sure who said that. But
okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Now, that's the two lungs that we breathe. And that's really important to know. If you take anything away from this video, take away from that the Church of the West and the Church of the East, that you need both of them together, to form the church. And I think that's really important.
And one thing to note is, if you're a Roman Catholic in good standing, you can attend the Byzantine Divine Liturgy whenever you wish, and you can receive their communion, and I believe some of the sacraments, several of the other sacraments as well.
Yes, you can. You can partake in the Holy Eucharist. You can receive confession. If I understand correctly, for marriage, you would, that might be a little tricky. You have to ask for permission from the bishop if whatever your spouse is. If one of them is Roman, or the other one is Eastern Catholic, they have to ask permission to go and become, either Eastern or Roman, so there's no like an uneven yoke there. But mostly that, we are all in communion with Rome, and, we're all brothers and sisters in Christ and of the church, and, you can partake in the sacraments, no differently. Like, when I come here, I partake in the sacraments when I'm in good standing, that I take it in the tongue. And that's something that's, I will say that's very different, that I greatly enjoy, that when you take it, instead of going like this, sometimes I do, you have the, what do they call it, the cloth, that you take it above, and then the priest just puts it on your tongue. So that's a different experience too. I just remembered that I find interesting, and I think it also, like when you're waiting there, or when you're kneeling at the rail, and it just gives you more of a reflection too of the Holy Eucharist, and gives you time to prepare your heart and your spirit, and to pray as you receive it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Peter. Thank you for watching. And have you ever been to the Byzantine Divine Liturgy? Let us know below. Thank you so much, and have a great day.